Right, well, Rescue Centre, you might have read last week that there's a funding crisis here at the local RSPCA centre. They actually need £28,000 a month for the running costs here to care for these poor animals, cats and dogs, which have been victims of cruelty in the local community. So we've come down today to help support the appeal and to help highlight the sort of work that's going on here. And I'm here with Jenny. Jenny's one of the workers here at the RSPCA in Warrington. Good morning. Good afternoon even now. Yes. So can you tell a little bit about why you suddenly have this funding crisis?
Yeah, so we're currently struggling to fund the basic everyday work that we do at our centre, and it's because we've been surviving for a really long time on some big legacies that were gifted to us in the past. But right now that money's running out, and it's because of the pandemic. We've not been able to do the fundraising that we normally would. We've not been able to reach out to the community in the way that we used to in the past. And also, everyone knows the rising costs that we're all facing is hitting us as well. We've got kennels and catteries to run, and the bills that we're seeing are increasing day by day. So it's becoming a real crisis for us just to keep the lights on and the heat on. Yeah,
and obviously all those fuel bills are going up, aren't they? Increasing horrendously for everyone at the moment. And you obviously need to keep the animals warm here.
We do. Yeah. It's important. They've been through some of the worst, and imagine coming to a kennel that was cold. So we've got to keep our really high standards of welfare here, and that is a cost day by day just to make sure that they're fed and watered and warm and safe.
Now, I've already mentioned the running costs equate to about £28,000 a month, which is an awful lot of money.
Yes.
So what are the big expenses? We've already mentioned the heat and things like that.
Yeah, and the medication. So a lot of the animals we see have been through such trauma that they need regular vet treatment and regular surgery, even things like that. So it costs about £30 a day to keep an animal here in terms of covering their food, their medication, any treatment, and all, as you say, that vital heating and lighting costs for them as well.
Yeah. So anyway, the appeal fund's been launched. Warrington Worldwide's here today to help promote this, and we're going to try and help keep this centre open, because all the animals here, the dogs and the cats, have all been victims of cruelty from human beings, and I'm sure some of the backstories you could tell us would have us in tears. But anyway, we're going to concentrate on hopefully a success story.
Absolutely,
and we're going to come inside and we're going to meet one of your team.
Absolutely.
And I think everybody's going to fall in love with this character. But be aware, this is a dog that has been a victim of cruelty. So if the animal isn't comfortable at any time in the interview, it will have to leave the room. But I hope the star of the show will be the star of the show.
Yes, thank you.
So come inside. Right, and as I was saying, we've got the real star of the show now, who's over there on the couch. I mean, this beautiful dog has been a victim of cruelty from human beings, and I'm going to break down in tears soon, because just come and have a look how beautiful this animal is. Now this is Katie, and Katie's actually fostering Star. Hi Katie.
Hiya.
Tell us a little bit about Star, the star of the show.
So when Star arrived with us, she was very, very poorly. She'd been subject to severe neglect. She was very underweight and emaciated. She was very nervous of human contact, which she still is. It's still a work in progress for her. She was only weighing at 3 kilos on arrival, so she was very, very poorly. She's now weighing 14.5 kilos, so she's getting much better, much quicker, and flourishing with everyday life.
Yeah.
So was the main cruelty issue that she just wasn't being looked after properly, and fed properly?
Yeah. She hadn't been seen by a vet pretty much at all, so she wasn't vaccinated. She hadn't had the proper treatment when she was poorly, so it was very touch and go whether she would actually make it or not. But
beautiful.
we turned her around and she's doing much, much better now.
Yeah, and her confidence has improved so much as well. She would never have been this close to me when she first arrived. She was hiding away, and now look at her, she's comfortable as anything.
So I think this is a great example of the great work that's done here at rescue centre, and you're absolutely going to be the star of the show, I know that. But I mean, it's not just a simple, you just can't rehouse a dog overnight that's been through this, can you? It has to go, what's the sort of process you have to go through?
I mean, on the initial admission, when they come in, they have to have a vet check, and depending on what's found on that vet check, it can take weeks for them to get better. It can take multiple vet visits. I mean, with Star in particular, it's costing hundreds and hundreds of pounds to get her fit and well again. So it can take anything from a week if they're healthy, 2 weeks, or anything up to 6 months to a year to fully rehabilitate a dog.
Yeah.
So when you're fostering, you're going to fall in love with a dog like this.
Yeah.
So it must be difficult to actually let go eventually.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I'm going to fail on this one, but she's not my first foster dog. I mean, since I've been working with the RSPCA, I've helped anything up to 10 dogs in foster with me. But I think I am going to fail on this one, I'm afraid.
I think she's going to end up as an adoption.
Yeah.
Are you going to end up in as adoption? Have you got your forever home already? Eh? You're beautiful. Those eyes. I've fallen in love with you. I only met you 5 minutes ago. But I don't think our Tessa would like you coming back to our house. No, so there you are. There's a classic example of why the people of Warrington and surrounding areas need to get behind this centre and help ensure that animals, defenceless animals like Star, who've been victims of animal cruelty, she's just one of around a dozen dogs here at any one time?
Yeah, we have 12 dogs in with us at the moment and lots more out in foster, much like Star here.
Yeah, and then you've got the cats as well. Let's not forget the cats.
The cats, yeah, 18 cats.
18 cats, and all these animals cost around £30 a day to care for and look after and make sure they've got the right veterinary care and medication, right quality food. And you've got to, although you are connected to the RSPCA, you run totally independently, don't you?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't get any funding from the RSPCA.
We don't get funding from them, so we are reliant on local people in the local community to support us. Like, without them, without the love across the northwest that people have for pets, we simply wouldn't be here, and we wouldn't have had our doors open for the nearly 40 years that we already have. We'll be 40 years next year, and it's so important that we get to that point, you know, for animals like Star that come to us and have complex needs and nowhere else to go. We're a really high welfare, highly regulated centre. Yeah.
Well, I've actually got a bit of an emotional attachment to this place because 40 years ago, nearly 40 years ago, as you said, it was probably my first assignment as a photojournalist to come down and do a story and picture on an animal that had been rescued here. It was an Alsatian dog, and again it had been a victim of cruelty and it needed to be found a new home. And the story we did helped find it a new home.
That's fantastic.
So, I'm asking the people of Warrington to get behind this place and support it. And at Warrington Worldwide we run something called a Legacy Project. And to start the ball rolling, we're going to make a donation of £500 to you from the Warrington Worldwide Legacy Project.
Thank you.
And we're going to hopefully come back once a month and focus on an animal that needs a home in the future.
Oh, that's amazing.
And and keep this campaign going because you're doing a great job here in the community, and we need this place to stay open. So come on, Warrington, get behind this RSPCA centre. And let's make sure these lovely animals, like this star of the show, and I've fallen in love with you, you're definitely worth the £500 donation. And, let's keep this place going.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.